Welcome to the DevOps Planet. In this video, we will see how we can create AWS IAM user using Terraform. So for this, I have already written a Terraform module and code. So you can find the link of this repo in the description of this video. So I have already cloned it. So let me explain you first that what code I have written. So I have written a module. So the module is nothing but we can understand as a function. So in a programming language, we write a function and we call that function multiple times whenever it is required. Similarly, in the Terraform, we write down a module and we call that module multiple times whenever it is needed. So in the module, you can see I have written three files. One is main.tf file, second is output.tf file, and third is variable.tf file. So in the main.tf file, I have written the resources which I want to create using Terraform. So here I have written the code to create the IAM user. So for this, I have used the resource IAM user, and here I am passing the username. The second is IAM access key. So I want to provide the console access to that user. So for that, I need the AWS access key and secret key. So to create those credentials, I am writing this resource here and I am passing the user so that it can link the credentials with the user. The third is I want the console access for that user. That means a login URL, username and password so that user can log in from the console. So for this, I am creating a login profile for that user and I am linking in with that user using this variable. The next is I am creating a user policy. I am assigning this policy with this user, and in this policy, I am giving the S3 full access and IAM change password access, because I want to user the change password when he log in first time. So there is another file that is output.tf. So in the output.tf file, I am printing the username, I am printing the user ARN, I am printing the password, secret and access key. And in the variables.tf file, I have defined those variables, the username and the policy name. So these two variables I am using in the main.tf file. So this is the explanation of our module. Now let's come to the root directory. So in the root directory, there is another file that is main.tf. So in this file, I am calling that module and I am passing those variables value. If I will not pass this, then by default, it will read the values from the variables.tf file because I have defined the default values there. So I am passing these two values here, and the values of these parameters are inside the terraform.tf vars file. So here you can see I have passed the terraform.tf vars file values. So here I have again created an output file. So here you will see the way by which I have written the values here, and the way by which I have written the values inside the module is slightly different. So inside the module, I am passing the values because inside the module I am creating the resources. But on my root directory output file, I am getting these values from the module. So all these output variables will be treated as input variable for the external output file. That is why you can see I have passed the module link here. I have not passed any resource ARN. I have passed the module link here. Now let's see how we can use this code in the Terraform to create our resources. So for this, first I am checking that whether my aws-cli is configured or not. So I am executing aws-s3 ls command just to see that everything is working fine. So it gives the output. It means that aws-cli is configured. Now I will execute Terraform init command. So Terraform init command will basically download the required modules plugin which are used in our code. So currently we are creating the AWS resources, and in our providers.tf file, I have passed that provider is AWS. That is why it is installing the AWS provider. If we will use the other cloud, Azure or GCP or any other one, then it will download those plugins and tools. So the initialization has been completed. It means it has installed the required plugin and modules. Now the second command which I want to execute here is Terraform plan. So Terraform plan will give us a detailed plan that what resources it will create, what will be the values, what will be the output, and other configurations like the username, the other parameters. So if we want to change anything, if we want to configure anything, we can review the plan. We can decide that whether we want to continue with these resources or not. And if we want to change anything, that also we can do. So let's complete this command and then we will see how we can create the resources. So it has shown us a detailed plan that it will create a S3 policy, it will create credentials, the login profile, it will create an IAM user, it will create the access key and secret key. Now to create these resources, the command is terraform apply, and I am passing the another flag that is -- auto approve. By this Terraform will not prompt for a confirmation. It will give us a detailed plan again, and it will auto approve the command prompt, and it will start creating the resources. So one more thing which I want to highlight is here, the as you can see in the output, for the secret key you can see the sensitive value, and the full user password you can have the sensitive value. And the same thing you can link in the output file also. For the password and the secret, pass sensitive is true, because these are the sensitive values. We cannot directly show these values to the user. So that is the Terraform policy. So we have to pass the sensitive equals to true, and the same pass in the external output file also. Here also you can see the sensitive equals to true. So for the values which are sensitive, we have to pass these things. So as you can see, this plan again give us a plan, this command, and you see that it has created the user and it has printed the output. So for access key it has printed, the ARN it has printed, the username it has printed, but the user password and secret key it has not printed. So first let's verify all these things on the AWS console. So let me go to the IAM service. So in the IAM service, I'm clicking on the user. So currently 2 users are here. So this is the user demo user which we created, as we can see in the username and the output. And if you scroll left, if you scroll, then you will see the access key has been created. The ID is this one, and console access is enabled. So if, sorry, go again, click on the demo user. So if you scroll down in the permission policies, you can see one policy has been created, demo access policy. And if you click on the extend button, then you will see that the policy is same which we have passed in our main file. So it has the S3 full access and IAM full access. Sorry, IAM change password access, because we have written that user need to change the password. So because this is by default enable, if you want to disable the user password, then in the output you will see a variable. Let me show you. Password reset required. So this is the parameter which is by default true. If you don't want to change the password when the first time user login, you need to set this parameter as a false. In that case, it will not prompt you to change the password. So first let me show you how you can log in into this user. So I am opening a browser. So I'm opening incognito window. Let me open that, and I'm typing here AWS login. So you will see the AWS management console. Click on this and sign into the console. So here we have created an IAM user. So first let me log on from this account. Okay, and click on the sign into the console. So here we have created an IAM user. So we cannot go with the root user. We need to click on IAM user. Now we need the account ID. So the account ID we can have in the output. So in the user ARN, you can see this number. This is the account ID. So I'm pasting it. Click on next. Now we need the IAM username. So username we have here, and then it need password. So as see, the password is sensitive value. So to see the password, we have a command that is terraform output --raw, and then we need to pass this key, that is user password. So it will print the password. So here we have the password. So let me copy it and paste it. Click on sign in. So we enable the password change when the user login first time. That's why it is asking to change the password. So let me change that and confirm password change. So as you can see, now we are logged in with the demo user, and I give the AWS S3 access to this user. So let me go to the S3 service. It should list the buckets if the permission is working fine. So I can see the bucket here. It means everything is working fine. Now similarly, if you want to fetch the secret key, so for that you need to pass this key as a secret key. So you have the secret key here. So you have the access key here and you have the secret key here. So you can configure the AWS CLI using AWS configure command. So you need to pass the access key here and then it will prompt for the secret key. So I have already configured it, so I'm canceling it, but that's how you can do that. So that is how we can create IAM user with the console access and the AWS CLI access using Terraform. I hope you like this video. Thanks for watching this.